Hey, welcome back to Elevator Pitch English. I'm Zach, and I'm really glad you're here. Today we're tackling the 60-second pitch. Small, fast, and surprisingly powerful.
And I'm Emily. If this is your first time with us, hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss practical, real-world episodes each week. Okay, let's talk about why a minute can change everything.
A quick story. Last year, I met a director in a coffee line. I had 1 minute before his drink was ready. I kept it concise. That means short and clear, and got a meeting the next day.
That's the magic. At a startup demo day, I saw founders try to explain everything in 2 minutes and lose people. One founder opened with a strong hook, the opening line that grabs attention, and investors leaned in immediately.
Think of a 60-second pitch as your value proposition in a nutshell, the clear benefit you bring. When you express that benefit fast, different stakeholders, people who have an interest, like managers or clients, can act quickly.
Delivery matters as much as words. Your cadence, the rhythm of your speech, plus a steady pace and clean pauses builds credibility. Credibility is the feeling that you're trustworthy and prepared, not rushing or guessing.
Quick recap so far. A 1-minute pitch works because time is tight, attention is short, and first impressions stick. Keep it clear, create a hook, and point to a benefit. That's the core.
Also, a minute is a helpful constraint, a limit that forces focus. It pushes you to choose the strongest problem, the sharpest solution, and the most relevant value. Less fluff, more signal.
We'll build around 3 beats today: problem, solution, value. Then we'll layer in connectors like so, which means, and as a result, to make your ideas flow. Clean transitions make a big difference.
And we'll shape your call to action, the simple next step you want, like, could we schedule a quick chat? When you end with a clear ask, people know exactly how to respond.
If this sounds useful, follow the show now so you don't miss the practice parts later. In a minute, we'll time a sample pitch and show you where to pause for impact.
Final thought for this opener. Your story is the engine, not your job title. Lead with the problem you care about, the solution you've tested, and the value you've created. Ready? Let's dive in.
Let's map the 60-second structure. Problem, solution, value, PSV. Think of it like 3 clean beats. First, name a real problem in 1 or 2 lines. Second, show how you solve it. Third, make the value obvious so the listener can picture results.
Quick scene from last month. I was at a co-working event, and a product lead asked what I do. I didn't give my job title. I named the problem. Teams lose time switching between 5 different tools, which creates a bottleneck. That word means the main thing slowing progress.
That landed because it's concrete. Then your solution needs to be just as clear. When I was pitching a scheduling tool, I didn't list features. I said I built a single dashboard that connects calendars and chat, so people confirm meetings without email ping-pong.
Notice the connector so. It moves the idea forward. I also like which means and as a result. For example, at that event, I added, it reduces friction. Friction is the small pain that makes people stop using a product, which means fewer dropped meetings.
Now the value. Numbers help. I said, teams using it cut scheduling time by 32% in a 2-week pilot. Pilot is a short test to validate an idea. Validate means you show evidence that something actually works, not just in theory.
Listeners often ask, how much detail fits in a minute? Think in slices, around 15 seconds for problem, 30 for solution, 15 for value. If you have a powerful metric means a measurable number, prioritize it. People remember outcomes, not features. Zach, remember that fintech meetup? You used PSV, and the VP's eyes lit up when you said, as a result, support tickets dropped 40%.
I do. The VP, a key stakeholder, meaning someone who can make decisions, immediately said, "Tell me more." That's the power of value. It opens doors without you pushing. Value answers, "Why should I care right now?"
Quick recap. 1. Name a specific problem people already feel. 2. Offer a simple solution in plain language. 3. Show value with an outcome, like time saved or revenue gained. If you hear yourself drowning in details, return to these 3 beats.
One caution: avoid heavy jargon. Jargon means specialized words that confuse outsiders. Swap it for everyday language. Instead of optimize cross-functional synergies, I said, help teams share updates in one place so decisions happen faster. Same idea, clearer.
Another tip? Make the solution verifiable. Say how you know it works. A brief proof of concept, a small demonstration, makes the value feel real. Even one user story can do it. A sales team booked 3 extra demos last week.
Time check matters too. I like a tiny pause after each beat. Problem, pause. Solution, pause. Value, pause. Those pauses give your listener space to process and keep your cadence steady. Cadence is the rhythm of your speech.
Here's how mine sounded on a train platform. Many freelancers juggle too many tabs and miss deadlines. I built a single timeline that syncs tasks and messages, so updates live in one view. As a result, my pilot group finished projects 20% faster in month 1.
That's PSV in action. Simple, visual, and measurable. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this flow. Problem people feel, solution they can picture, value they can repeat to their boss. Next, we'll sharpen the language with power verbs and smooth connectors. Speaking of structure, the fastest way to sound confident is to upgrade your verbs and glue your ideas with clean connectors. Power verbs carry weight. Connectors steer the listener's attention from point to point.
I learned that the hard way at a rooftop networking night. I was rambling, saying, I help teams with marketing, and people drifted away. Then I tried. I streamline handoffs between design and sales so campaigns launch a week faster. Streamline means make a process simpler and faster.
That "so" is doing real work. Connectors like "so," which means, and as a result, turn facts into a cause and effect story. It feels natural, and it helps your listener picture momentum, not just features. Quick verb swap that changed my interviews. I moved from soft verbs like help and work on to precise ones like led, launched, reduced, and secured. When I said, I reduced onboarding time by 30%, the manager immediately asked, how? Doors open when verbs are sharp.
At a demo day, I used a simple chain. We piloted the feature with 50 users, which validated demand, and as a result, churn dropped. Piloted is a short test. Validated means we proved it works. Churn is when users leave. Short, useful definitions keep people with you. Zach, didn't you have a 3-verb combo you love?
Yeah. Eliminate, automate, consolidate. I told a CTO, we eliminate duplicate tickets, automate triage, and consolidate dashboards so engineers recover 2 hours per week. Notice the rhythm. 3 verbs, then a payoff with so.
Let's dig a little deeper into tone. If your verb is strong, let it breathe. Micropause after it. We reduced by 30%. That tiny pause makes the number land. And drop fillers like kind of, maybe, sort of. They water down your message.
Connectors also manage contrast. Try however, but, or instead when you pivot. For example, we doubled signups. However, conversion stayed flat, so we simplified checkout. Pivot means change direction based on what you learn.
A quick recap. Pick bold verbs that show action. Led, built, launched, reduced, secured, improved. And use connectors to guide cause, contrast, and result. So, which means, as a result, however, instead. Precision beats jargon every time.
On a train platform, I rebuilt our onboarding so new customers activate in 24 hours, which means fewer support tickets. A stranger overheard and said, I need that. Clean verbs and connectors turned a random moment into a lead.
Final nudge. Choose one strong verb per sentence and one clear connector to link the result. Keep it conversational, like you're telling a friend what changed and why it matters. Next up, we'll shape delivery, voice, pace, and pauses to match your message.
Okay, delivery time. Words matter, but how you say them carries the pitch. Think voice, pace, pauses, and emphasis, like 4 levers. Pace is speed, cadence is rhythm. Get those right, and even a simple sentence sounds strong.
I felt that at a crowded job fair hallway. It was noisy, and my pitch got lost. I slowed down, kept sentences tight, and used clear enunciation. That means shaping each sound so it's easy to catch. Suddenly, people leaned in.
Breathing sets the pace. I take a quiet 4-count inhale before I start, then release slowly. Aim for a steady conversational speed, not rushed. If you sprint, value disappears. Too slow, energy drops. Project gently. Projection means carrying your voice without shouting.
Pauses are tiny gifts. After the problem, pause. After the solution, pause. Before the value number, pause a little longer. At a fintech meetup, I literally counted 1 beat in my head. That beat helped the result land.
Emphasis guides attention. Stress the verb and the number. We reduced onboarding time by 30%. Notice the falling tone at the end. That's confident. Avoid constant uptalk when your voice rises on statements, unless you're inviting a response.
Tone matters too. I add a slight smile on the opening line. It softens the voice. Then, I drop into a steadier, lower tone for the metric. That shift, called vocal variety, makes the result feel credible, not salesy.
Here's a simple pattern I use. Emphasize the change, then downstep. Downstep means your pitch steps down at the end of the sentence, signaling completion. We eliminated duplicate tickets. Engineers recovered 2 hours per week. Clean hit, then a calm landing.
Connectors plus pauses create flow. So, which means, as a result. I'll say, we streamlined approvals, so launches happen faster. That half-second of silence frames the benefit like a spotlight.
Environment tweaks help. I once pitched in an echoey lobby. I stepped onto a carpeted area, lowered my volume slightly, and sharpened consonants, crisp T and K. Echo dropped, clarity rose, and the VP caught every word.
Remote calls need delivery care too. Keep the mic a hand away, eyes near the camera, and pace a touch slower because of latency, that tiny delay online. I leave a 1-beat gap after value so no one talks over it.
Quick recap. Steady pace, intentional pauses, strong emphasis on verbs and numbers, warm tone, and clear posture. One practical habit? Record a 60-second draft and listen for breath noise, fillers, and stressed words. Trim until the message sounds effortless.
Last thought. Move while speaking. A slow step or gentle hand gesture can free your voice and reduce tension. I do one calm breath, one clear hook, then pause. Speaking of hooks, next, we'll adapt your pitch for different audiences.
Speaking of hooks, adaptation is where the pitch really pays off. Same spine, problem, solution, value, but you change the lens. In an interview, you aim at job results. In networking, you build connection. With startups, you highlight traction and risk.
That reminds me of a panel interview I had with a logistics company. I opened with a shipping delay problem they'd posted about, then shared my fix, and closed with the result that matched their KPIs, key performance indicators, basically the numbers they track.
In interviews, I mirror their language from the job description. If they say reduce churn, I talk retention wins. A hiring manager, the stakeholder who decides, once told me, "You sounded like you already work here," because I echoed their priorities.
Networking is different. On a rooftop meetup, I started with a question. What's the biggest bottleneck in your week? After they vented, I shared a tiny win and a light call to action. CTA means the next step. Happy to send a one-pager?
For startups and investors, the lens shifts to scale and runway. Traction means proof people want it, users, revenue, or growth. Runway is how many months of cash you have. At an accelerator, I led with a growth curve, then asked, would a 2-week pilot with your portfolio help?
And even inside startups, audiences vary. Founders care about vision and market. Engineers care about effort and clarity. I'll say I removed a pain point, the specific thing that hurts, for our ICP, ideal customer profile. Short, clear labels keep heads nodding.
Here's a simple swap trick I use. Keep the same story, change the metric. For a hiring manager, I highlighted onboarding speed. For a network contact, I mentioned time saved each week. For an investor, I framed retention and payback period. Same core, new angle.
Tone and pace shift too. In interviews, I go steady and assured. In networking, warmer and a bit playful. With investors, crisp and measured. I underline credibility with specific numbers, then pause. That little silence makes the value feel real.
Objections are part of adaptation. A CFO once worried about cost. I acknowledged it, contrasted options, and landed on ROI, return on investment. I said we trimmed manual work, which freed budget elsewhere. The contrast, plus a clear result, changed the mood immediately.
Funny you say that. In a final round interview, someone asked, "What if adoption is slow?" I shared a tiny rollout plan, pilot, feedback, iterate, and a success line from a past team. Alignment beats promises. It shows you've walked this road.
Quick recap. Interview. Align PSV to KPIs and echo the role's language. Networking. Lead with curiosity, then a helpful micro-ask. Startup. Show traction, risk control, and a concrete next step. 3 audiences, 1 structure, 3 different accents.
Practical takeaway. Write one 12-word opener and 1 metric for each audience, plus a tiny CTA like intro, pilot, or calendar link. Keep the story the same, just tune the spotlight. Next up, we'll build and time your pitch in a quick practice lab.
All right, live build time. I've got a timer open and we'll do 3 passes. Draft it, time it, refine it. Same PSV spine, problem solution value, plus 1 clean call to action at the end. I'll start the clock when your first word lands.
Okay, here goes. Many small teams drown in tabs and miss details, which slows decisions and delays launches. I built a single timeline that syncs tasks, chat, and files, so updates live in one place and nothing slips. In a 2-week pilot with 7 teams, we cut handoff delays by 20% and support tickets dropped. As a result, managers closed projects a week sooner and felt less stress across sprints. I'm exploring partnerships with 3 agencies right now and…
Stop. 68 seconds. Strong bones. You've got a clear problem, a simple solution, and 2 value points. Let's trim hedges. Words like really, actually, and right now that soften impact. Also, cut repeats and park the partnership note as your CTA, call to action, the next step you want.
Round 2. Tighter. Small teams lose time jumping between apps, which slows decisions. I built a single timeline that syncs tasks, chat, and files, so updates stay visible. In a 2-week pilot with 7 teams, handoff delays fell 20%. As a result, projects finished a week sooner. If this sounds relevant, I'd love a short intro to your operations lead.
Time, 55 seconds. Nice cadence and 1 strong metric. Let's add a simple hook up front and put a tiny pause before the number. Hook means the opening line that grabs attention. Also, swap "I'd love" for a firmer verb like "could we schedule?"
Final pass. The bottleneck is switching between too many apps. I built a single timeline that syncs tasks, chat, and files, so decisions happen in one view. In a 2-week pilot with 7 teams, handoff delays fell 20%. As a result, projects wrapped a week sooner and support tickets eased. Could we schedule a quick call to explore a 2-team pilot?
That lands at 58 seconds. 2 small refinements. Mark a breath after "one view" to prevent rushing, and use a down step on the number. Finish the sentence on a lower tone to signal completion. Quick tip: the because test. If every sentence implies because, your logic flows. Decision speed improves because updates live together. Outcomes improve because decisions speed up.
I practiced this in my kitchen yesterday with a sticky note. I recorded 3 takes on my phone and renamed the files pitch_62s, pitch_59s, pitch_57s. I highlighted strong verbs, built, syncs, reduced, and circled the metric. That tiny audit made me drop a filler phrase. Filler means extra words that don't add meaning.
Quick recap checklist. PSV first. 1 power verb per sentence. Connector for flow. So, which means, as a result. 1 metric your listener can repeat. 1 clear CTA, and a pause before the number. If something feels crowded, shorten the clause before the metric and let the result breathe.
This is the moment your pitch starts feeling natural. Save your best 60-second take, then keep it handy for interviews, chance meetings, and video calls. Speaking of momentum, next, we'll wrap everything up with final advice and simple next steps you can use this week.
Before we wrap, quick recap. Today we built a 60-second pitch with PSV, problem, solution, value, powered by strong verbs and clean connectors. We shaped delivery with voice, pace, and pauses, and we adapted the story for interviews, networking, and startups.
To make progress you can measure, track 1 simple metric, a number that shows impact. It could be time saved, errors reduced, or demos booked. When your pitch includes a metric, people remember it and repeat it to their team.
Here's a tight 7-day plan. Day 1, write your problem line. Day 2, sharpen it. Day 3, Craft the solution with one power verb and one connector, like so or as a result. Day 4, record once. Day 5, add the value number. Day 6, make 2 audience versions. Day 7, record 3 takes and keep the best.
Use a tiny scoreboard. Time, seconds, best verb, connector, metric, and your CTA, call to action, the next step you want. I also tick a fillers box. If I say or kind of, I mark it and trim.
Last month, I followed that scoreboard on a commute. I refined on the train, then bumped into a director in the lobby. Because my CTA was clear, could we schedule a quick call? We set a meeting before the elevator doors opened.
Keep delivery simple. 1 breath before you speak, a steady pace, and a down step. Finish the sentence on a lower tone when you share the number. A slight smile on the opener warms the voice. Tiny tweaks, big clarity.
No number yet? Borrow evidence. Share a tiny pilot, a short test, or a proxy like, we cut response time on one team. It's honest and specific, and it shows momentum without pretending you've scaled to thousands.
For networking, keep the ask light. Open to a quick intro to your ops lead? For interviews, echo the role's language. For investors, highlight traction, proof people want it. Then pause. That pause lets the value sink in.
Weekly habit. Record 1 minute every Friday. Label the file with time and metric, and jot a cadence note. Cadence is the rhythm of your speech. Watching those numbers improve is motivating, and it makes your delivery feel natural.
Final advice. Lead with a problem people feel. Show a simple solution and land one clear result plus a specific next step. If today helped, follow the show and share this episode with a friend who's polishing their pitch. See you next time.